the rest of the info there is kind of fun to look at. Now we'll go to weather. Next, all right. Now, weather is pretty cool. You can change your weather add-on in actually just the system settings. It really isn't dependent on the skin. But what you can do is, there are a couple of features that interact with the add-ons, depending on which one. There are some Google-specific ones, but I don't use Google Weather. But I do use the Weather Underground. And if you go into the weather, you can choose a widget, and that's the default weather widget. Now, you see they are really, really nice and vivid and bright, though they're not animated, and that's no longer a feature, so you won't find that option here. But they are really nice in theme with the colours, and I haven't seen any like that in any of the other skins. Now, you can then go to choose the background. I like this. You can then go to the conditional weather fan art. Now you have a set of additional weather. Then you just go to where you've extracted that into the root directory of it. It will take a moment. And then it will actually pick backgrounds that match the weather and the weather that's being reported from wherever you have it set, which is quite nice. Okay. So now we're going to go into comics. You can set this here. First enable it and it will tell you at the bottom, set the path. So just go and set the path here. Go to where comics are set in the root directory. Okay. Now, then maybe change the background, unless you like looking at the Hulk, obviously. We'll do that here, and you can pick any background really that you like, and then you're sorted. Now, we're done configuring it in the screen, so we'll escape out of that. And we'll start with the comics, actually. Okay, now enter into your comics. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that it kind of looks like how pictures do, but it's using DVD cases. And I think that's brilliant, actually, because that's exactly how we want it. Now, you can choose the view types. Maybe you wanted to have a vertical organization instead, which actually doesn't appear to work. Okay. However, if you escape out of it, if you just escape out of it and go back into comics, it shows up as it's supposed to. Now, it is the Git version, so it's nothing to panic about. Now, you can go into the weather if you like. There you go. I find that the vertical view type, it actually works better with comics because then it's left-right. You can have things done numerically, as you see in the bottom there. Whereas with horizontal, it's done, I think, quite counterintuitively. Now, you can select into that, and then it handles that quite nicely. As you can see, you can read it on the screen quite well, which we'll take a look at. Now, there you go, that's quite nice. That's really about it for comics. Okay, now, we'll go into music next. Okay. So now, see the widgets on the top. I can actually go here and select these different albums. Okay, and if I hit up again, I can then get more info on the album. And the same applies down below. In that sort of widget, you can see there are different layouts. Going down, I can actually select different albums. And it will tell me a little bit about it as well. we'll just go into the music itself. Okay, now I'm not going to show and play with the view type settings on this screen because that's better expressed in the videos. But you can do it here and see the screen here, this menu. Wouldn't be available in kiosk mode. And that's an important thing to recognize actually. See where you're customizing things to how you like it. You really should have this menu enabled even if you're constantly switching into it under normal circumstances, because it always allows you to change your view mode, etc. But anyway, so you can go into your specific artist anyhow, and we'll go into these lads here. And there you go. You can select it and play it, and then hit tab, and as you can see, you get stuff on the artist up there. And since we had selected the background art to the artist playing, you can see that it's going to show that in the back. And after a while it goes away. You can set it where it goes, now... You can now, I pause and nothing comes up. But if you want stuff to come up, then you can hit M. You can go to the far right and you can see it. See, you have a background customizer. You can choose what you want, you know, to be like a CD, or as you can change the background, Blu-ray disc, vinyl record. You can click that, and if it flips that over like so, you can have it set for that. So that works out quite good. Okay, now, I'm just going to go back to the menu. I'll just go from right to left. That handles randoms. This is the lyrics. Now, depending how good your lyric add-on is, you can click on this yoke, and look at that. It actually brings the lyrics up, and you can follow along if you don't really know the words or whatever. Which is kind of cool, I think. Now, carrying on. These do the controls. This is your presets, and you can choose your visualizations here and then further customize them here. And it works out pretty well. Now I'll show you something here as well. If you had a song that had an actual CD art here, see, it would spin around. I'll just grab that. So a song that had the actual CD art there will actually spin around. And what you have, okay, moving away from the music. Okay, so yeah, we'll move away from that and we'll go to movies, I think. Again, it's the same kind of thing. So you can go to movies and you can set up the different modes, etc. Whether you want it to be like panel, you can set it up to be info panel, which I think is quite neat. You don't see too many quite like that. Or you can do landscape view. There we go. Then you can further customize them by going to the view type settings. See, and decide what you want to show versus what you don't. Okay. You can maybe turn the info panel on manual so you see more of the fan art or delay. So you can set the time then. See for how long before it's auto hidden. So maybe 3 seconds or something. Okay, so we'll just wait our 3 seconds here, and there you go. Okay, pretty cool. So then when you're kind of scanning around, you don't have to constantly stay in the screen. You can see the background that you like, and then okay. Okay, so there you go. There's some stuff around the show itself, and you can play around with that too. Okay, now we'll go to TV shows. And I'm going to keep it in the lowest view for the moment, because these little icons, those are only visible in this view. If you go to episode or season, they're presently not available. But I'll show you one thing. If you go to this mode here, go to view type settings, you can have it show the clear art settings instead of logo. I'm not certain whether it's possible to show the logo, and if there is no logo, it'll then show the clear art or vice versa. But you can, in this field anyway, change them to show one or the other. Now, there's lots of different views that you can do. You can do, say, episode view, poster view. There you go. So, loads of different views there. And there's kind of, it's kind of fun, is the banner plex actually. But you can see it's kind of ugly right there, but there's, that's because I have my view type settings a little bit funny actually. So go into general options and then hit banner.jpg and then hit to the right, and there you go. And now that's much more pleasing, and it looks actually quite nice and quite fun. Now, we'll turn those off because I'm going to go back to the low list because I'm comfortable in low list and I can, well, play something. Now, finally, we'll go to weather. Now, this is a thing. If you have it in kiosk mode, you're not going to be able to, at least to my knowledge, change the city, because you can only change the city in this menu. Now, the other thing you can do in this menu only is go to the extended info forecast, which is handy enough. The problem is that this stuff won't save. So if you are in kiosk mode, you'll have to disable kiosks so you can change this stuff. Because when you go through it, the moment I exit out of XBMC and come back, we'll be back to the 10-day forecast or default forecast.